makes it hard today?
Yeah.
Everybody always talks about it. By the time you guys get in here, you already think you know if it's going to be hard or not. Drives me insane. Don't ever listen to what anybody else tells you, okay? I'm going to tell you I think you're going to like today more than you have enjoyed or not enjoyed, I really should say, the last 2 days, okay? So you can absolutely solve by graphing. It's totally an option, but there's a lot of things we've got to be really careful at. A lot of places you can make mistakes. So we're going to learn a second process today, and it says the last 2 days we've estimated the solution of systems by graphing. Today we're going to use substitution. They call it solving systems algebraically. Substitution is an algebraic model that can be used to find the exact solution. Now, just like in sports, you can only trade things out that are the same. You are not going to take your goalie out of a soccer game and put your forward in their place. You're not going to take your quarterback out of the game and ask the punter to be the quarterback. It's not going to go well, right? You're not going to take your fast pitch pitcher out and put your right fielder in, unless they're a pitcher, okay? So we have to make sure that things that we're swapping out are equivalent. So if you notice, there's quite a bit of space, more than normal, for each of these problems. Your handwriting will impact today, because if you lose a negative or you misread a number, you will get these problems wrong and you'll be frustrated. So what I would do under each problem, you're gonna notice I'm gonna have a column and a column. So write appropriately in size. If you need another sheet of paper, get one. Don't skip and don't be all over the place. Okay? When you approach these problems, you want to look at it and you want to say, do I have an equation where one of the variables is by itself? So if I look at number 1, everybody agree that bottom equation, y is by itself. What that means is y is equivalent to 2x. We can swap them out. So we're going to take 2x into the other equation in place of y. We're going to place 2x into the other equation in place of y. Because they're equal, we can trade them out. So instead of y equals x minus 3, I'm going to have 2x equals x minus 3. I no longer am going to write a y. I'm going to replace it with 2x because they're equal. Now, what's the benefit of this? In this equation, I only have an x. Let's go back to chapter 2 and solve equations. I need to get all my x's on one side. What should I do? I need to subtract 1x to the other side because it's currently positive. 2x minus 1x is 1x. These cancel. 1x equals negative 3. Now we're only halfway through this problem. Just like yesterday, every answer today is going to be an ordered pair, an x comma y. What did you just figure out? X is negative 3. Now we have to take this and we have to plug it in. And it doesn't matter which equation you plug it into. Let's plug it into the bottom one. Whoopsie, sorry. So this was y equals 2x, but we just got x to be negative 3. So we're going to substitute those out. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So my final answer in an ordered pair format, negative 3 comma negative 6. We're going to use substitution and our ability to solve equations, which you guys are really good at. Let's do it again, okay? Number 2. Do you have an equation where y is already by it, or sorry, I shouldn't just say y. A variable is already by itself. Top one or bottom one? Bottom one. What letter is by itself? Y. So we're going to take 3x and we're going to replace y with a 3x. So instead of y equals x minus 6, I'm going to have 3x equals x minus 6. Very good. I need to get all my x's on one side, so I should subtract 1x to both sides. 3x minus 1x, 2x equals negative 6. So x is negative 6. What do I need to do here? Why do I have to divide on this one? I didn't on the one above. Very good. The other one was a 1x. Nicely done, you guys. You didn't even let me trick you today. Good work. So x, when I divide by 2, x is actually negative 3. Then I'm going to plug it in. You want to plug it into the top one or the bottom one? Bottom one. Y equals 3x. It doesn't matter which one you plug it into. But what did you just tell me x was? Negative 3. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Whoopsies. So my final answer as an ordered pair x comma y, negative 3, negative 9. I love to solve equations, so I would much rather do this than to graph. Can we skip 3? Okay, let's skip 3. Go to 4. 4, 5, and 6, they're a little more intense, agreed? They're not just a y equals. But on number 4, is there an equation where one of the letters is already by itself? Which one, top or bottom? On the top, what letter's by itself? Y. So same thing, we're going to take this whole piece, 3x plus 8, and we're going to plug it in for y. You're still replacing y because y is the letter that's by itself. So before it was 8x plus 4y equals 12. We're now going to write it as 8x plus 4, ding, 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 put a parenthesis. What are we placing in there? 3x plus 8, very good. Close your parenthesis, equals 12. I have to put that parenthesis there because 4 needs to be multiplied by everything that's inside that y, or everything that is represented by y. Again, I'm down to one variable. All of them are x's now. What's the first thing I'm going to have to do here, though? And what do I have to do with the parentheses? I have to distribute. Very good. I got to get rid of the parentheses. So I'm distributing a positive 4. Watch your signs. Watch your signs. So 8x is going to stay. Positive 4 times positive 3x. 3x. Positive 12x. Positive 4 times positive 8. Positive 32. Equals 12. So I distributed. It got rid of my parentheses. Now what do I need to do? Combine like terms. I love your guys' words right now. Awesome. 8x plus 12x is 20x plus 32 equals 12. Subtract 32 to both sides. 20x equals, say it again. 20x equals negative 20. Then divide by 20. X equals negative 1. Don't lose your sign. You want to plug it in the top or the bottom? I'd plug it in the top, absolutely. Y equals 3x plus 8. But you guys know x is negative 1. So what should I do first when I have negative 1 substituted in there? Multiply first. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. And then negative 3 plus 8 is 5. So my final answer, x comma y format, negative 1 comma 5. Question, Jacob? You have to put an ordered pair as the answer, yes. You have to write the ordered pair as an answer. All right, let's do it again, just to get us exposed to some more. Number 5, same question I'm going to ask you. Is there a letter already by itself on the top one or the bottom one? Top one. What letter's by itself? Y. So I'm going to take 2x plus 1 and plug it in for y. So it was 3x plus 4y equals 26. It's now going to be 3x plus 4, ding, 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 2x plus 1 equals 26. See if you can solve for x on your own. See what you can do. I'll show you the work in just a minute. Did you get 2 for x? Mm-hmm. I got 2 for x. Okay. Five for y. So 2 comma 5. 2 comma 5. What's different about number 6? Yeah, in this case, the one that the letter's by itself is on the bottom. Start to finish, see if you can do this one. Start to finish, see what you got. I'm impressed. Is that what you do? Mm-hmm. I think you're right, Jim. I got 2 comma 8. Good with that? Mm-hmm. All right. Before you turn the page, don't panic. Okay? Everybody turns the page and panics. Flip it over. We have to do story problems. Okay? It's been a long time. I know it has been. I will never give you something that you're unable to do, though. That's where you have to trust in me, okay? So this says a total of 75 cookies and cakes were donated for a bake sale to raise money for the football team. There were 4 times as many cookies donated as cakes. Define the variables, write a system of equations to represent the situation, and solve the system. So on this, when it says define the variables, you have to tell me what X and Y stand for. In all of these problems, there's two things we don't know. In this problem, what are the two things we don't know? How many cookies were donated? How many cakes were donated? So X equals the number of cookies donated, and Y is the number of cakes donated. So that's defining the variables. That's telling me what X and Y stand for. You want to be as specific as you can so that you can help write your equations. Now we need to write a system of equations, meaning we have to write two equations, and in each of those equations we have to have an X and a Y. 97% of the time, each sentence is going to give you a different equation. A total of 75 cookies and cakes were donated for the bake sale. What would that look like as an equation? Nikita? Was that you? I thought you were raising your hand. I'm sorry. No? JC? No? Dad? Can I put equals 75 at the end just because I'm a little crazy and I don't like it at the beginning? What equals 75? So the number of cookies donated plus the number of cakes donated gives me 75? Absolutely. Could you have equals 75 first? Yes. Miss Hoff's just crazy and likes it at the end. Okay? Nicely done. The second part that we're going to use is the sentence that says, there were 4 times as many cookies donated as cakes. And here's a common mistake. There were 4 times as many cookies as cakes. Which one was there more of? Cookies. That's the letter to be by itself. So what letter's by itself for us? X. Cookies. The number of cookies we have is equal to 4 times Y. There were 4 times as many cookies as cakes. Cookies equals 4 times your cakes. There's your system of equations. Now I have to solve. Ms. Hoff, we've never done one like this before. Okay. Do you have a variable that's by itself? Yeah, which letter's by itself this time? X. So we're going to take 4y and we're going to plug it in for x. So it was x plus y equals 75. Now what is it? Nope. 4y plus y equals 75. Now, what is 4y plus y? 5y equals 75. Then I divide by 5. Y equals 15. Do you want to plug it in the top or the bottom? Bottom. X equals 4y, but what did you just tell me y was? 15. So 4 times 15 is 60. The very last thing you want to do here is you want to write me a real quick sentence with labels on your answers, reminding you that x is the number of cookies, y is the number of cakes. So you would say, there were, now you are missing a lot of work in here. If you don't have all this work, you're not going to get credit for it. There were 15 cakes and 60 cookies donated. No, the coordinate, the x comma y, nope. You're basically doing that by telling me this sentence. Okay, one more and then I'll turn you loose. Mr. Thomas cooked 45 hamburgers and hot dogs at a cookout. He cooked twice as many hot dogs as hamburgers. Define the variables, write a system of equations to represent the situation, and solve. What two things do we not know in this problem? And don't tell me X and Y. The number of hamburgers. Let's put X as the number of hamburgers. And we'll make Y the number of hot dogs. Now, I want you guys on your own to see if you can come up with the two equations. Each sentence is going to give you a separate equation, and they both have to contain X and Y. See what you can come up with. I think 97% of you got the first one. What's the first equation? Very good. Together there were 75. So the number of hamburgers plus the number of hot dogs is, oh, not 75, Hoff. 45. My bad. Okay, here's the tricky one. What did he cook more of? Hot dogs. So which letter should be by itself? Y should be by itself. Hot dogs he has more of. So Y equals 2X. The number of hot dogs. There's twice as many hot dogs. So hot dogs is equal to 2 times your hamburgers. All right, solve this on your own. See what you get. Mm-hmm. Cookies is X and then X is by itself. But on this one, why is Y by itself? Because there's twice as many hot dogs. Oh, because yours are backwards of what we have. Oh, so I'm still. So if you the way you have yours labeled, you can leave yours. Okay. Yes, you leave yours. Yep. Good question, though. I got X to be 15 and Y to be 30, so yours should be the complete opposite, right? Okay, so now we got to put our label in here. Mr. Thomas cooked 30 hot dogs and 15 hamburgers. Now, JC asked me a great question. She had her equation written differently, but when I went and looked, she made hot dogs X and hamburgers Y. So her equations are going to look different. And her X and Y were different, but when she puts the right labels with her right letters, she still got the same answer. Okay, that's why it's so crucial that you tell me what X and Y stand for. One problem today. One problem has a decimal answer. It's a nice decimal, though, and it's okay that you give me a decimal answer. On the bottom of this, people always panic because 1 and 2 are very, very simple, and they're like, oh, we never did something like this. Yes, they're just like 1 and 2 on your notes. Okay, fold your hands and listen to me for 30 more seconds. Next week, on Monday, we're going to do this same thing online. We're going to do 3-8 online, okay? On Tuesday, some of you have been chosen to take that NAEP test, and people are frustrated with it, but this is what I'm going to ask you. We don't have control of it. We got to do it. There's things that we don't like about stuff that we have to do. What I ask is that you go in there and you try your very best. You're not going to know all the answers, and that's okay. Go in there with a positive, I can attitude and be your best. I don't think any of you will miss my class the way the timing it looks like you guys are going to all be in math. If for some reason you're not, you will not have to make up Tuesday's homework. There's not really going to be homework on Tuesday. We're going to do an in-class activity. Wednesday, we're going to have an online review over 3-7 and 3-8. Thursday, you're going to take an online quiz on 3-7 and 3-8. Okay? So Tuesday, if you're testing, you're testing, no big deal. If you're here, we're going to do something in class. No homework. Cool? As you're working on this, you get problem number 1 done. Turn to your neighbor and say, what'd you get on number 1? Okay? Check your answers with each other. I'm totally fine with that in my classroom. Okay? In my classroom. All right. As you're working, if you need help, let me know. Otherwise, rock and roll.